Now we are going to create the quality, services, deals, and customer reviews, and then the subscribe part. So I'm going to come back to my VS Code, and then here we're going to close this and then close this, and then also close this. Come to our pages section, and let me first collapse all of them like that. And now we are going to open the pages section and then go directly to the quality. Is it quality? Yeah. So we are going to create this quality section. So first I'm going to remove this, then add this, and then inside here we want to have a section, and this section is going to have a flex div like that, and then justify it to be between, and then we can also have item center, and then max lg of flex column, and then a gap of 10, width of full, and then a max container like that. I'm going to make this gap like that, and then now inside this section we want to have a div also, and this div is going to be flex and then flex 1, and then we can also do a flex column. Inside here we want to have a heading, and this heading is going to say discover. So let's just do a h2. We're going to give this a h2 of margin top of 10 because we want a spacing from the top. So let me scroll up to where that place is here, and then we also want to add more classes to this. We can add a font, so use this font, and then we can do text for Excel. We want it to be capitalized, so we can do capitalize, and then we want it to be max width of lg, so that the text does not take the whole width of the div. And then now inside here we want to have a span, and this span is also going to have in XL we want it to have a background of white, and then we can add more classes, which are we want a white space. In extra large we don't want a white space, so it's going to be white space no wrap. And then we want to do relative, an index of 10, then we can also do a padding right of 10 like that. Inside this we want to do discover like that, and then also inside this discover we can do another span inside this span. So let's do this. Inside this span we can do a span, and then give it this color, our blue color, which is coral blue, and then we want to do inline block, and then a margin top of 3. Then we can do premium here like that, and then after this span we can do shoes. So we can do discover premium shoes. We can do no, we can remove these shoes here instead, and then we can add a span, another span below here. So let's break that span, and then we can do span, give it a color, text coral, and then blue like that. And then we can also do inline block, and then we can do margin top of 3. Then here we are going to say footwear instead of doing shoes like that. So discover premium footwear. Now below this h2 we can add a p tag, and this p tag is going to talk about the description. So let's do a margin top of 4, and then we also don't want it to take the whole width, so we can do in large devices maximum width of large, and then you can do info text. This is a class, name inside my CSS. So let me just paste it here. So I'll do this, the text, here it is. So you can see we have discover Nike's world of top tier sportswear. If I increase the screen, you can see that it's not taking the whole width of the div. So let's come back, and then below this p tag we can also add another p tag, and this p tag is going to have a space from top of margin top of 6, and then we can do also a spacing. So let's do maximum width of large, and then also add the info text, which is a class name, and inside here we are going to add another text. So let me copy it, then paste it here like that. So you can see we have 2 paragraphs, and then now below here we can add another button. So we'll do a div below here, and then this div we want it to have a margin top of 11, and then inside here we can add the button like that. It's self-closing, and then we can add a label of view details. So let's do view details like that. So you can see we have this button here. Below this div, which is this one here, we can add another div, and then let's do flex, and then can also do flex 1, justify to be center, and then item center, items to be center like that, and then a bg gradient. I want this background to be to right, that is, and then we can do from blue 200. Want it to come from blue 200, and then we want it to go to green, I think 100, and then we can do around it like that. So inside here I want to add an image, so let's do an image. The alt is going to be, let's do show, and then first we can add a width. The width we can do 570, then we can do a height of 522, and then we can do a class name of object contain like that. So this image is going to come from, we can just import it. So let's do this. I've saved it as shoe 8, so let me come here and import it. So let's do import shoe 8. Actually it won't work like that, so let me just import it. Import shoe 8 from images, I think it's assets, then images, and then shoe 8.jpg. I think it's jpg. Actually it's supposed to come from, I'm not supposed to declare it because I already exported the images in my index.js. Where is it? This one. We have already exported them. So let's see if we have this shoe 8. Let me refresh here. We have an error. Let me see which error is that. It's saying it does not provide an export named default. Let's see. Okay, let me close that, and then let me see. I think the error is coming from this shoe 8. Supposed to put it inside those, supposed to fix the error. Let's see. Yeah, like that. So now we have the premium section. So let me expand the screen. You can see we have this discover premium footwear, then we have view details. Let's see if it's the same with the initial one. You can see it's literally the same thing, discover premium footwear like that. So the next thing you're going to do is to create the services section. So let's come back here and then close this, and then also close the button, and then open the link it services. Yeah, its services section. So here we want to just do a section. This section is going to do max container like that, and then we can also add some classes, and these classes are going to be flex, justify center like that, and then flex wrap, and then a gap of 9 instead. You can do a gap of 9 or a gap of 8, it doesn't matter. And then here we have the services. I had added the services in the constant, so let's first import the services from the constants. We had the services in the constants, so let's import them. So let's do import services, supposed to add it here, services, import services from constants like that. And then now here we want to map the services, but before we map the services, you're supposed to come to the components and then create a services component which is going to map all our services. So inside here we can do service card. Let's do service card. It's going to be service card .jsx like that, and then refce, and then inside here we can just do, let's remove this, inside here we can do a flex one like that. Also do in small devices, we want the width to be at least 350 pixels, and then small devices we want a minimum width of 300, and I think that's the same thing as minimum width of, yeah, we can do a width of full, then we can do rounded, and then this rounded we want it to be just 20 pixels like that. A shadow, and then a padding, so you can do a shadow of 3xl, padding x of 10, and then a padding y of 16 like that. Then inside this div we can also add another div for the image, so it's going to have a width of 11, and then we can also do a height of 11, and then we can do flex, justify to be center, items to be center, RBG, background color of the blue color, so let's do coral blue, and then we can do rounded full, and then now inside here we can do the image. The src will import it. No, the src is going to be the img URL because we are going to map the services in our services. Then the alt is going to be the label of the image, the label of the service that is, and then a width we can do a 24, and because we want it's an icon we can do also a height of the same, which is 24 like that. And then first we can come and declare them here. We can do img URL. We are also going to pass in the label, which is the text, and then we can also do the subtext like that. Now below this image div we can do a h3, which is going to take the label, which is the title. We can do a spacing top, which is margin top of 5, class name margin top of 5, and then we can give it a font. We can do a text of 3xl, and then we can do leading of normal, and then add it a font of bold like that. Inside here we can pass in the label like that, and then below this h3 is where we are going to do the p for the subtext. So a gap which is margin top of 3. Then you can do a break of words, can give a font. We're going to do Montserrat, and then a text large, a leading of normal, and then text slate gray, this one. And then inside here we can pass in the subtext. Now we have created the services card, so let's close that, and then here we come back to the services, and now we can map our services in our shoe card. So let's do this. Services, then dot map, can map a service like that, and then inside here we can import our service card. Service card. I don't have the import suggestion. I have created a service card. Let me just import it. So import service card from components service card. So let's import the service card. Then you can see you have these icons. Then inside here we can do key to be service.label, and then we spread the service here. So let's do service like that, and then let me refresh this. We have that there. We have the services cards. So let me maximize. You can see we have the services section. So let's come back, and now we have finished the services section. Let's do the deals section. So this is the section for the offers. So let's come to the deals. Where is it? Deals. Here it is. And then inside here we can do a section also. So let me first remove this. Inside here we can do a section, and it's going to be flex like that, justify to be between. We can also do item center, and then a maximum Excel, let's max Excel. We want to do a flex to be column, which is going to be reverse, a gap of 10, and then a max container, like that. Inside this section we can do a flex one div, and then inside here we want to have the image. So let's just do the image. The alt is going to be, let's say, deals, and then we can do a width. You can do this width, you can add that width, and then you can do a height, which is going to be 687. We can do object contain. So let's do object contain, and then we can do a width of full like that. Now let's import the image. The image is coming from, it's actually offer, and is going to come from the assets images. So let me import it here like that. So it's supposed to get the image, and here it is. And now we can start mapping the text for the description about the offer. So below this image div we can add another div, and it's also going to be flex. Also do a flex one, and then what else? You can do flex column like that. Inside here we do a h2. This h2 is going to be to have a bigger font, so let's do text to be 4XL. I think that's better. And then you can do also a font. So let's do font bold, and then also a font. So let's use this. Then inside this h2 we can do deals, but first we can do a span. So this span is going to be just a blue color. So let's do coral blue, and then we can do exclusive. Then outside this span we can do deals like that. So we should have the text here. We have it, exclusive deals. So below this h2 we want to do a p tag. Give it a margin top of 4. Also add the info text class name, and then this p tag is going to be, let me paste it. So let me come and paste it here. You can get this from ChatGPT. So like that, and then we can also add it down here, and then change the text. So let's change the text to be like that. So we have these two texts. Now we want to have two buttons. Below this p tag we can add a div, and this div is going to have a margin top of, let's say 11, and then we can also do flex wrap like that, and then we can do a gap of 4. Inside this div we want to add our button. So let me do the button here, the button, and then we want to add a label. Let's do a label. This label is going to be shop now. Let's do shop now like that, and then we can do an icon URL is going to be arrow right. So let's do arrow right arrow, and then you're supposed to actually import this arrow, and it's coming from our images icons. So import it there, and then below this button we can do, let me refresh. I actually didn't import the image, the button that is. I don't know why it's not importing for me. I just import it. So let's do button from components, and then button like that. And then if I scroll down, you can see we have this shop now button here. We can add another button. So below this button we can do another button, and this button is going to have a label. The label is going to be learn more, and then we can do a background color. This one is not going to have a background, it's going to have a background color different from the other one. So let's do this background color, no, not actually inside there but here. So let's do a background color, and this background color is going to be a background color of white. It's also going to have a border color. So let's do border color, which is going to be border slate gray. So let's do border slate and then gray, and then we can add another one, which is the text color, which is also going to be text slate gray. So let's do text slate and then gray like that. So let me expand this section. Let's see how it looks like. You can see we have the image, and then you have the exclusive deals. Let me come back here. You actually have it there, but it's not the same thing. I think I've defined a class name wrongly. This one, max container. Let me come back. Then we are supposed to have this, so you can see they're the same. Yeah. So the next thing we are going to do is the customer reviews and the subscribe part. So let's go back here and then close the deal section. Open we are doing the customer reviews. So let's remove this. Then inside here we can do a section, and this section is only going to have the max container like that. And then we can start by doing a h3, which is going to have a text for Excel. So let's do for Excel, and then we can add a font of bold here, and then we can do palanquin and then text to be center like that. This h3 is going to say what our customer says. So let's do what our, and then we can do a span which is going to be blue. So let's do text blue, not text blue, text coral blue. It's going to say customers, and then after this span we can do what our customers say, add a question mark. And then I don't know why, let me expand it. I'm supposed to do a break, so let's do a break here and see how that one looks like. So what our, not actually there, not there, but here, or we can just add some spacing, no problem. So it's this L, wait, we can add a space which is going to be NBSP like that, yeah. And then grab and copy this, add it here. So let me expand. You have what our customers say, and then below this, then also do it the same here. So below this h3 we want to have a paragraph text, and this p text is going to do margin auto. So let's do margin auto like that. Also do margin top of 4, and then do a maximum width of large, text center, and then N4 text. And then inside this paragraph we're going to have this text which is going to say here genuine stories from our satisfied customers. And then now below this p tag we want to map the images of those who have reviewed our website and their comments. So let's do margin top of 4, margin top of 24, that is. Inside here we can do flex 1. Let's justify it not between but evenly, items to be center. And then in large devices we can do flex column, not like in large devices, but let's add a gap of 14. So inside this div we want to do our reviews, but these reviews are going to come from our constants. But before we map our constants, let's import them here. Our reviews, that is, we want to create a, what is it called, a review card, which is for the customer reviews. So come to the components and then create a review card. So let's do review card.jsx, do rfce, and then inside here the only thing we're going to do, because our reviews are going to have a star rating, we can import the star there and then remove this, and inside here we can do a flex div, then we can justify center, then we can do items to be center. The next thing we can do here is to do a flex of column. inside this div we can do an image, but before we do that we can come and define them here. First we're going to do an img URL. We can also do a customer name. All of these are coming from the reviews part in our constants. This is rating, and then the comment, which is the feedback of our satisfied customers. Then inside this image we can do the source to be img URL. So let's do img URL. This one is going to, let's say, customer, and then add some classes. So let's do class name, rounded to be full because we want the images of the customers to be in a circle. Object to be cover, object to be object to be cover, and then a width of 120 pixels, and then let's say a height of 120 pixels, like that. Below this image we can do a p tag, give it a margin top of 6, and then maximum width to be small, text center, and then info text. And then inside this p tag is where we're going to have our feedback. And then below this p tag we're going to do another div which is going to have the rating star. So let's do margin top of 3, and then flex, justify to be center, items to be center, and then a gap. We can do a gap of 2.5, like that. Inside this div do an image. This one is going to be the star. I added the star there, so let's do star also. And then we can do a width of 24, also a height of 24, and then we can do an object contain. So let's do class name of object contain, and then we don't want a margin, so let's do margin of 0. Below this star we're going to have a p text which is going to include the rating. So let's do a p which is going to do text to be Excel, give it a font of Montserrat, and then give it a color also. So let's do text slate to be gray, like that. Inside this now is where we are going to add our rating, like that. I don't think we also need something else, which is the name of the person giving out the review. So let's do a h3 and give it a margin top of 1. Add a font which is Palanquin, a text of 3XL, and then text center, and then a font, let's do bold, like that. Inside this is where we're going to have the customer name, like that. And then I think the review card is complete. Now let's go back to our, what is it called, our reviews section. So let's come to the customer reviews, and now inside this div is where we're going to map our reviews. So let's do reviews, and then we want to map, we can map an index and a review inside here, and then here we can do review card, a review. I added an extension which is preventing the imports, but I'm going to remove it. So let's do review card. It's going to come from components, and then review card, like that. This review card is going to expect, let's see if we have something. We have the stars there, we have the customer. So this review card is going to have a key of index. So let's first add the key to be index, and then add an img URL. So it's going to be img URL is going to have the review, the review and then .img URL like that. And then we can do the customer name. The customer name, let me scroll down. First, let me add the customer name, which is also going to be review.customer name, customer name like that. Let's see if you have those appearing. Not yet. Let's add the rating to be review.rating like that, and then we can do feedback. The feedback is going to be review.feedback like that. So you have the review and then you have the index. Let me refresh. You're supposed to get them. Index. Let me see. Now we have those. We have the images of the reviewers, we have their feedback, and then you have the name, and then you have the review. So let me expand it. You can see it's appearing here. So the only thing we are left with is the subscribe button, which is the subscribe to the news or the latest updates. So let's remove this. This is not going to be something big. So the only thing we're going to add here is an input field for the email. So let's do a section, and this section is going to have a flex like that. Do justify between, justify to be between, and then items to be center. Do maximum excel, not actually maximum excel, of flex to be column but reverse, and then you can do a gap of 10, then add a max container like that. Inside this section, let's do first a div for the image, not image actually, but let me see. We are doing the subscribe. We have actually done the, let's see, section class name. How we are doing the subscribe. Let me remove this. I was recreating the subscribe, the review part, but it's almost the same. So let's do a max container first. Max container like that. Add a flex, justify to be between, items to be center. Also add a max lg of flex column like that. Add a gap of 10. So come inside here, and then we are supposed to add, but we'll add that later. Let's first finish this. H3 of text for Excel, and then we want it to have a leading, and this leading is going to be, let's do 68 pixels maybe, but you can use the values which are there. And then we want to do a maximum width of medium. Also do a font. You can do Palanquin and then make it bold, font of bold like that. Inside this H3 is, we are going to do sign up for, add a span here, span of blue, coral blue. This span is going to be updates, and then outside this span we can do end newsletter. Let's see if we have it. Sign up for updates and newsletter, but I don't know why this span is not, but you can do gap. Let's do gap of 2, gap of 1, 2. So be forced to add a space. Let's just add the space in BSP, and then do an NBSP to add a space there. Below this h3, add another div. So this div is going to be width of full first, and then what else? We can do an item center, but before we do that, let's do flex items to be center. Do maximum width of 40%, so let's do maximum width of 40%, and then do what? Max SM to be a flex column, a gap of 5. We can do a padding, right? Padding of 2.5, and then we want a border for it, and this border is going to be slate gray SM border. We should first add the SM to be border like that, and then we can also add some classes which will be only rounded full like that. Inside this div, let's do an input, and this is going to be input. The input is going to be email like that. Inside this, I can delete this because I actually don't need them. We can do a placeholder which is going to say subscribe at nike.com. That's better. And then we can also do a class name. I have an input class name, a class of input. Let's add it there. And then below here we can add a button. So let's do flex, and then items to be center. Also do maximum SM to be justify end, and then maximum SM to be width of full. Add our button here, so let's do button, and then this button is going to be label to be let's say subscribe or sign up, subscribe like that, and then let's do full width for that. Full width. It's actually supposed to be full width. Come and import the button here, so let's do import button from components, and then button like that. So if I scroll down, you can see we have the button here, and then you have the input. So if I maximize the app, you can see that you have successfully finished creating the Nike website. But one thing I've noticed, we have these are working, right? So you have the home, which is also the about us section, I think so. Or did we have other section? Let me see. Have the home, I have the about us. Oh, that is the about us section. So we have the products, contact us, sign in or register. So I think there's something we haven't added, and that is the ID. So in the subscribe, we can come here and do, is it here? Yeah, we can come inside here and do ID, which is going to be contact us. So that when we click the contact us, it scrolls us down to the, yeah, that's better. Products, we have it. About us, now we have to add the about us. So let's come here to the, where was it? Quality, I think, not the quality. Yeah, it's the quality. Let's add an ID of about us, like that. So let me, you can see we have it. So the home is, the about us is working, products, contact us, home is working properly. So that brings us to the end of this video, which is creating a Nike clone websites. So you can follow this video to create your own website like this. So let's meet in the next video where we'll be creating other videos like this. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and then you can also send your design on the comment section, or send it through my email so that I can create it in the next video. Yeah, so let's meet in the next video. Be safe. Bye.